These are the drumhead cabbages, now in early October, and this particular monster here is the one we're going to be having. That should last for quite a few days, I imagine. Cabbage with everything. Yum yum, very good for you. And some of these other ones here which are greens, all ready for the picking. Here we have another one of the cabbages that's turned out alright. The netting's been totally necessary this year, and so they've turned out okay. Some of them have been a little bit attacked, but you know, that's because we haven't picked them. And the rest of the cabbages here, and there's the netted cabbage there. Basically it was saved mostly from the cabbage whites. The only problem we've got is tiny baby slugs, which we've been down at night time a few times just have a look on the torchlight and they get there. And here I have some late kohlrabi, and that one there has been a bit attacked, but some of these touch and go might make it. The Swiss chard, I just put a few in this year, first time I've grown it myself, and some of these have survived from a late planting from seed, and put these directly in. This is the mustard seed with the green manure planted on a patch, and underneath that I did put some guinea pig waste. Not going to try that again because I know apparently it takes years to rot down, but it seems to be doing well, coming up, and then basically you leave it in until just before it flowers in the spring and then dig it in. Today's jobs are to cut down this bramble here, which took a long time to take the bramble to take, but I wanted to take some bramble from home, some black, well it's actually blackberries really, and also to chop down the raspberries here, the canes which were originally on the allotment. These want chopping down, so I've got to crack on. I grew these from seed at home in seed boxes from inexpensive seeds. It's very much potluck what works down here with the level of pest. I don't always net everything, but these fresh greens have worked okay, of various sizes, and there's some past my little apple tree there, so they've worked okay. And here we have some pak choya planted late. Never tried it before, given it a go. Some of it's gone a little bit to seed, as you can see, but I'll see what I can salvage out of it. I've been propagating the strawberries from the runners, basically just chopping the, along the line of a run, as you can see, and then spreading them around as much as I can, because despite the poor soil conditions here, one thing it is worth doing is spreading the strawberries around. So I put them on like a big quadrangle almost of strawberries here, and I need to chop that bramble back. And the bramble at the back of the plot, I've been working on that. To show you that quickly, last time I was down, I've been chopping that back all along where my rhubarb grow, and that's been quite a job. And at the back of the plot here is a little hedgerow, and I try and keep that as wild as possible for the birds. You can hear them chattering away there. There's probably a robin or a blackbird that's a bit angry at me being. So the raspberry canes have been cut back, and I'll cut them back again next time I come. And I've been propagating some black currant, because they grow on the current year's growth. So this, what used to be the compost heap, now I've put some black currant cuttings in, and I'll see how they take in this clay soil, because I found some that were probably been here since time immemorial on this particular plot, that survived the ravages of time. Due to a lack of pollinators this year for some of the trees, which I think was down to the very wet weather, and also a lack of attraction to pollinators, I put in there's 6 wild flowers here, and I've got the actual labels for these ones as well, so I can show you what I've put in there on this patch here. And some of my things are doing okay that I put in. There's a cherry sapling grown from seed. Again, not quite sure how good a hybrid is, but I'll make sure I don't let this one grow too big. I notice people use bricks on the branches in order to control the tree and help with its pollination, etc. Apparently they've said on newspapers that
This particular allotment, along with some roads in the area, took a hit from a Zeppelin raid in 1917. So one of the plots down here, when they first got the allotments going around the sort of 1920s, one of the allotments actually took had an actual bomb crater from the Zeppelin raid as they unloaded the payload. They were probably after the railway marshalling yards, which are long since gone at Colic. More green manure. This is mustard. It's inedible, but it's doing very well on this patch to be dug in. These are the wildflowers I planted last time I came down. It's quite late on. I put 6 sets in. This is to try and attract pollinators onto my plot. Like I said earlier, it's been a very bad year on pollination for some of my trees, and this is a throwback to ancient medieval times. It's a ginkgo biloba, but not medieval, I mean like millions of years ago. It's apparently like a living fossil, this tree. Spartan apples are supposed to be ready in October, because I haven't picked these yet, because when I twisted them earlier last time I came down, they weren't ready to come off the branch, and only the ones which had fallen, which of course the ubiquitous slugs have. So this should be ready very soon. It's only been in 2 years here, and I presume that it's a graft tree on a graft, dwarf rootstock, but some of them you just never know, a little sort of twig and you get loads of fruit off. This is our first ever corn on the cob. Last year, total disaster, planted them too late, killed by the frost, and this one is numero uno, so I'm very happy about it. This chamomile, I found it growing all over the allotment, and someone told me that people sort of grew it even during the Second World War down here, but it seems to crop up everywhere. So every time I saw a little baby one, I put them all together and bunched them together with one commercial one that's got larger flowers at the back there. And last time I came down, I picked a load of the flowers, and I've been drying them to put them in my tea. Not everyone's cup of tea, but you might. I really, to some extent, have to go with what grows down here. Again, a throwback to the war years. This stuff, I planted some, but people say it's been found a lot on this allotment site. It's chicory, which of course is one of the main ingredients in so-called camp coffee. I never dug it up because I was a bit scared of it not gone to seed, but I've been told that it has. So these are the chicory flowers, and Passiflora incarnata. The Passiflora flower, and the seeds from this is used in some medicaments to help people as a sort of a soothing, calming, sort of soporific, sort of nighty-night lullaby type thing for people who have insomnia. But don't take my word for it. Always, you know, check things out for yourself. But apparently it is one of the ingredients amongst other ingredients that people use, like hops, etc., as a herbal remedy. But this stuff grows like a jungle here, and I've planted it along my sort of Robinson Crusoe screen here, and trouble is, if you cut it back too much, apparently that's it just all dies back. So, you know, I have to see how we get on with it, but it's done very well here. Just taking the outer leaves off the first 2 of the sweet corn we've picked this year. Very happy with these 2. There's a few left already, probably down to that late sunshine we've had. Last year we weren't lucky, got 0 at all, so very happy this year. The wildflowers I planted in order to attract pollinators onto the plot are Achillea, cloth of gold. According to that, this flowers between June and October. The next one is Leucanthemum, or Snow Lady. That one flowers between June and September. Goes to 2 to 3 feet. This other one grows up to 3 feet, Achillea, cloth of gold. And this Germ, or coil, whatever it's called, that flowers between March and October and grows up to 3 feet. Next one is Macleaea, or Cordata. That one grows again, well, it's 30 inches, just under 3 feet, 2.5 feet in fact, flowers March to October. Next one is Alchemilla, or Thriller, and that one flowers between March and October, and that grows to 2 feet. Then we've got Centaurea montana. This one grows up to 60 centimetres, flowering between May and September. I really like the flowers on that one. Next one is Solidago goldenrod. That one grows up to 1 metre high, flowering between July and October. And the next one I planted was Helenium Hopesy. That one flowers between March and October, grows to 3 feet. Scabious Perfecta Alba, 3 feet high, flowers between March and October. Veronica repens, that grows up to 120 centimetres, so very tall, and that flowers between June and August. And the last few we've got Penstemon or Polaris Rose, which grows up to 90 centimetres. That one flowers between April and October. And last but not least, we've got Spirea or Anthony Waterer, flowering between May and July, growing up to 1 metre tall. And basically all of these are sort of like cottage garden varieties, trying to attract more pollinators onto the site to benefit me and also everyone else.